Welcome back to the Comic Book ASM Artist. Today we're going to be doing a viewer requested video. This is Superman, the complete history. So the person requested just a general Superman art book, and oddly enough there's not too many of them, but this video is the product of a viewer request. So as I mentioned that, I mentioned we are finally at 2,000 subscribers officially. I sat at 2,002 for a few days, but the channel is officially there, so I can announce the giveaway. This is for X-Men Legends number 4, signed by Walt and Louise Simonson. And this is the version with the certificate from Dynamic Forces, as well as ENIAC number 1, first printing. So giving these away, this is open to anyone and everyone. It doesn't matter where you're at in the world. You know, we have viewers everywhere, and this is a small enough thing that I can ship it anywhere. So all you have to do is just comment down below what you want to see. This video is the product of that. I like doing viewer requested videos. Readings are a little more of a shot in the dark. They don't tend to perform as well, so if I do those, they're probably going to be like midweek videos. I really try to save art books and stuff like that for weekends, as well as the hauls and stuff like that. But yeah, make sure you're subscribed as well. The giveaway is going to be like in 2 weeks. I'm going to do the drawing live on the 24th, Thursday the 24th. It'll be 7 o'clock. And if you don't win, don't worry, we do more giveaways as well. So let's just get right into this. So this book is actually an older book, but like I said, there's not many Superman books, which is a real shame. So this came out around 1999. You'll notice the visual style looks kind of familiar. It's been laid out by Chip Kidd. He did the Batman animated book that I did in a previous video. He's done other books too, tons of them, but I know particularly this channel, that Batman animated art book. If you look on I think it's just random show and tell, that book's there, as well as a ton of others. So yeah, this is one of the black and white Superman costumes here. I think this is probably concept work from the Superman animated TV show. So yeah, we open here. We've got our creators. So we have Jerry Siegel and we have Joe Shuster. So Shuster was the artist and Jerry was the writer. And the first bit, it just kind of talks about inspiration they had from other things going on around them. But the biggest thing is they hadn't really seen a character like this done. And so they were very adamant about getting Superman published. So there's a version out there. I'm not sure if this was a short story or not, but where basically there's an evil Superman. He's got tons of powers and stuff. He's not exactly the same as the Superman we know, but this is like evil and kind of not good looking Superman here. And I'm trying to see if there's some sort of byline about it here. I hate to like read large chunks or anything like that, but it seems completely different than the later incarnation. So yeah, I'm not sure where this was printed, actually. And then we see this here. This is the Superman. This was something that was never published, so this was a concept. Never saw the light of day, but definitely much closer to the Superman we know. And it talks about heavy inspiration from Popeye. a Lois Lane here, who was inspired right here by, what's her name? Looks like Glenda Farrell, actress Glenda Farrell. So they really liked how she was like a very smart lady, just very inquisitive, fast on her feet. And so they wanted to make sure that Lois was the same type of lady. So this is Siegel and Schuster's first strips they had done here. So it looks like this one, it says, was a thing about like a sword fight. And then another one here, Dr. Occult, was another big strip they had done. Now Slam Bradley was Detective Comics. I want to say kind of their big lead that they did here. Fortunately, we do see some, stereotypes from the day. I actually only recently found out about Slam Bradley, so. But yeah, he was kind of a big deal. He was just kind of like a strong detective type of guy. And they had been working on that for Detective Comics for a while. I didn't know they had worked on anything other than Superman. So here we see kind of like some inspirational scrawlings here. They've written here, smash hit strip of 1936, Superman. And this was written up 2 years before Superman was published in a big thing. And of course we see the traditional Clark and Superman here. Costume looking a little different here. With the boots having these little things on them, and of course the shield instead of the yes we know. And then there it is, the Superman Action Comics #1. This is what we know as the big, valuable, important Superman book. So this picture here, this is from, from Britain, from Great Britain. So he looked a little bit different in their promotional pieces there, but same character. Over here it's talking about other comics that were inspired by Superman, who got a little too close to comfort here. So this one here, Wonder Man, I think he only had one issue, and then they basically sued or something to that extent, and he disappeared after that one issue. And as you all know, Captain Marvel eventually got acquired by DC, and he went by Shazam instead. But he was very popular too. He was, I think, the biggest selling book for that company at the time. So here we see, this is the early Superman here. It was all presented as newspaper strips. And so initially this is the route they wanted it to go. They wanted Superman to be a comic strip because with syndication, they could have it spread to more places. But what they did with it eventually was there was a book that needed a piece or a story in there, and the editor's like, hey, we can take the contents you did from these strips and format it into these comic pages here, and we can see what happens. So then we see this is the Superman #1. Nice iconic image there. It's been done quite a few times. So MC Gaines McClure's Syndicate allowed DC to handle the editorial work on the Superman strip. Meanwhile, editor Vin Sullivan left DC to help start another comic book company. But yeah, I kind of did a brief read over of this before I am making this video here. There's a nice pin here. This is a Superman button, club button from the 1940s. I love this painting here. So this was done by H.J. Ward. He's known for his spicy detective covers. So, but really great style, though. I just really love, the painted look there, of course, and kind of the darker tones that even though it's a bright piece, very optimistic Superman. Here's the Superman Fan Club official certificate. So they said, I know I read somewhere they had over 1 million members. So that's crazy. And then we see these projector guns here, so it would put images on the wall of Superman and stuff like that. So looks like they had quite a few of them. Some more toys and stuff here. So here we go. This was Superman's first promotional material here. Put on this package of toasted whole wheat flakes here. And we see this nice wooden Superman figurine. It says it's an action figure. He's made of wood though, so that's really unique. And he came out in the 40s and he's over a foot tall, so this was like a 12-inch wooden Superman toy. This is table lighter. I'm not exactly sure what a table lighter is. I don't know. I guess it's for cigarettes and stuff. Maybe this would come out and then you would put your cigarette there like a car lighter. I'm not sure. But it's weird because it's still the same company that made the cereal, I think, or no? Yeah, it's still H.O. Force. So I guess H.O. Force had their hand in a lot of different things. I got a kick out of this. So these were like bootleg Superman things you could get at Carnival. They're actually made out of chalk, which I don't even know how you would do that with these. But the Superman up here looks very much like the Heath Ledger Joker in the face. Just thought that was kind of random. And then here it is talking about the Fleischer cartoons Superman, which just was a huge, huge thing for me. I think before I was reading the books over my brother's shoulder, we would see the Superman cartoons on the TV, and those were incredible. Even now, like the color, how it pops and everything, and I always appreciated the drama that was in there. He wasn't just super overpowered. He would like struggle against like the beams and things like that. He would get knocked back and take a tumble and like force his way to the machine and crush it and all that sort of stuff. So it's just really, really cool. And then we see a few more items. Looks like a wallet here. Not sure what this is. I'm not sure. Maybe, I guess it's just another wallet there. So they talk about the Spectre here. So this was another character they created together. I do know the Spectre, but I didn't know he was created by them. And I don't know who Robot Man is. I like this gum wrapper here. It says help keep teeth strong and healthy. I don't know about that. And yeah, there were trading cards in here, bubblegum cards as they were often referred to. And then we see some covers here. It's him against the prankster. And then we see Mixia Spitlick and Susie is their name. And yeah, I like this early period too, the way they would draw his face and stuff. I wasn't a huge fan of kind of the middle period of how Superman was drawn, but I like the earlier days, how they did his face and stuff. I think that is very much inspired like Bruce Timm's kind of style, how he does faces and stuff. I know he was inspired by the Fleischer cartoons and stuff, obviously. Pitlick, Pitlick here. And we talk about the war stuff here. This is a iconic cover there. And then this is a store sign encouraging people to buy war bonds during World War II. So then this was a Superman like novel, not a comic or anything. This was the painted cover for it here. Very much reminds me of something that Steve Rude could do. Let's see the artist's name on there. And then they talk about Superboy. I'm not sure the reason why they suddenly made Superboy books other than, was another untapped market. They saw the success of how kids responded well to Robin and Batman, so maybe they're like, well, we can make a Superboy and see if we get to kind of the similar results. And then here's the first on-screen Superman. I don't even know if this guy here, Kirk Allen, never heard of him. It's a serial ad here for a radio show, I think maybe. No, it was a black and white. And then there's this here talking about how this version of Lex here had like some powers and stuff. And they gave him fangs and things. I do like how they took like direct scans of these pages like this. I wish that they would do this more with graphic novels. I like, how you can still see the old page quality, but still maintain, the ability to have the printed material hold up, because we know the newsprint and stuff like that fades and all that good stuff. So, but I like how this maintains that traditional paper coloring and stuff. But then you could still touch it and stuff without getting ink on your hands and having the book slowly get more and more ruined. So yeah, here we go. This is the George Reeves Superman, I believe. And this is from the episode where he meets Lucy. He was trying to do a appearance for little Ricky's birthday, and then I don't think he could make it, and then Lucy tries to dress up as Superman. She ends up stuck outside, and then Superman comes to save her. And even on the credits it talks about how it didn't say like George Reeves as Superman, it just said like Superman on the credits or something like that. So it talks about a dog here. I'm not sure every dog begins. So this is Super Pup. Don't know anything about that. So yeah, this is a big thing here. So there was a period, let's see, well it says Tuesday, June 16th, 1959, George Reeves said had killed himself. And there are quite a few people that were suspect of that. There were elements of his life where he was, worried about the fact that Superman was seen as a kid's show and that he was typecast and all those things. So basically he could do nothing but be Superman. But, it's like, what's wrong with being Superman, But it was suspect that he didn't actually kill himself, that someone else did. But officially in the papers and everything at the time, it was ruled that that's what happened. And, so all the printed materials, like, he killed himself. Now, there's a movie that came out. It was called Hollywoodland, I believe. I haven't seen it, but it's about that story. It was going to be called something else, but they couldn't call it that for copyright reasons, I forget. But I know that they did make a movie about it. And we have this Superman toy here that looks like Michael Scott dressed up as Superman. So it's an interesting looking piece. This might be the first Brainiac appearance here. I know it's an early one, but I don't know if it's the first one. I'm not super steeped in Superman, unfortunately. I do like him. I like the look of the character. Like I said, I've got a lot of memories attached to him via my brother and stuff. But yeah, I certainly know more about other characters than him, especially earlier stuff I don't know much about at all. But I think that's because my brother really didn't dabble in much of the older stuff either. We see some push puppets. I don't know why Supergirl's arms are so long. See the red and blue Superman there. Superman had split into two. See an early Bizarro encounter here. It's actually two parts. I think this is the second part. They said Action Comics 254 was the first appearance, and then this is a follow-up to that. This is something I didn't know either. They had a Superman show, like a theater, like Broadway sort of thing. Yeah, see, there's a musical. So I know I talked about how Spider-Man had a musical. Apparently Superman did too. And we see this drawing here. I think this is done by the guy who would do a lot of art in the New Yorker publication. I don't know if you call it a magazine or whatnot. But yeah, I think this is the guy here. What's his name? Al Hirschfield. Very stylized. Some early concept work here. So this is apparently done by Alex Toth. A lot of people know his work. He has a thing, I think it's 21 panels that always work in comics or something like that. Very skilled guy, great inker, great at composition, all that sort of stuff. And then this is like a transparency for a Superboy cartoon here. So yeah, this issue here, I think this is the first appearance of Kandor, the City in the Bottle. I'm not sure if it's the first Fortress of Solitude too. But they felt it was important enough to put in here, so it's like a full scan of the whole story, I think. Oh yeah, this was compiled by Les Daniels as well. I had done a few books of his in the past. I did a Marvel book by him, and then there's a DC book by him. So once again, check the Show and Tell playlist. He's done those. So of course you can't talk about any comic history without talking about Frederick Wardham, who wrote The Seduction of the Innocent. He thought even Superman was unwholesome, which is crazy because you think about Superman as the epitome of wholesome, you know. So he said, actually, Superman with the big S on his uniform, we should, I suppose, be thankful it's not an SS, needs an endless stream of ever-new submen, criminals, and foreign-looking people, not only to justify his existence, but even to make it possible. So, and then it talks about Superman has been long recognized as a symbol of violent race superiority. Television of Superman looking like a mixture of opera tenor without his armor and an amateur athlete out of a health magazine advertisement does not only have superhuman powers, but explicitly belongs to a super race. And so a bit of it he is hearkening back to Nietzsche was the first person to coin the term Ubermensch, Superman, talking about a race superior being, which later got co-opted by the Nazis for them to talk about and use as well. So There are elements of it, unfortunately, that got twisted and used in a way that is not ideal, but that was never these guys' intent. This talks about Superman land that never got opened. So now we have some more toys and stuff here. The Captain Action costume of Superman. Those Captain Action had like costumes for a lot of important characters. I know there was a Captain America one as well as a Batman one, I'm sure. Here we get a nice Jose Luis Garcia Lopez page here. He did all of the design files or reference files for the DC characters in the 80s. His stuff was seen on like a lot of t-shirts and stuff at the time. So if you had any shirts or anything from that period, more than likely it was this guy's art. And we talk about Superman versus Spider-Man. Still a really surprising thing to have happened. Both companies kind of worked together, and they made this thing, and it was a pretty great success. And totally out of left field, no one really saw it coming. And we see the Christopher Reeves Superman here. Definitely one of my favorite iterations of the character. Very iconic and hopeful. And then we had Superman versus Muhammad Ali. This was drawn by Neil Adams. And this was done 2 years later than this one, I believe. Yeah, this is 76 and this was 78. So both kind of surprising things here. I've seen bits of both of those books, but I've never read either. I would love to check those out for sure. We see this iconic image here. It's from Superman 423. I'm not exactly sure which story that is. It says it was written by Alan Moore, so I'm sure it's an important one. Many of you might know currently or have recognized this currently from the DC Walmart area, where this is like the cardboard standee that says, "Oh no, this product is sold out." And this is the image that's on that. So another Superman toy here. So this is talking about John Byrne's take on Superman. This particularly spotlights the cruelty of Lex. He's basically saying, hey, for I think it's $2 million, you can come stay with me for a month, uproot your whole life, and see if it's worth it. I'll give you 10 minutes. And she's like, I'm married, all this sort of stuff. He's like, I'll give you 10 minutes. You decide. And then it's revealed that Lex just leaves. He stayed around long, not the full 10 minutes though, but he still stayed longer than normal. And it's something he just randomly does to people who are not wealthy. Makes them that offer and just kind of gives them inner turmoil with it. And we see the crisis event. So this was the official end of the traditional DC narrative, and then we got a relaunch with John Byrne here, as well as all the other heroes too, but obviously Superman is the spotlight here. See a promotional ad for the Superboy show. I have not seen any Superman balloons in a parade, so this is actually the first time I've seen any Superman balloons. So this looks like it was from 1987, so I would have been 2 years old when that one was around. So that's probably why I don't recognize it. So here we see Clark's proposal to Lois. This was in Superman number 50. And then we see the reveal to her that he is Superman. This was in Action Comics 662. So this is what I didn't know. They really wanted to do the marriage of Superman. That's what they had on their mind. But that didn't happen because they wanted to do the marriage in tandem with the Lois and Clark show. And so because of that, they had to put all plans of the marriage on the back burner. So something that they had worked towards way back in 91, they suddenly had to switch gears. And they're like, well, if we can't get him married at this time, what can we do? And so then they kicked around the idea of Superman's death, which, you know, people die all the time in comics and stuff, and they were actually surprised that it worked so well. But I remember there was so much press, it was all over the news, everyone was sure like this was the physical end of Superman. Even me, like I said, I was 7 or so years old at the time. It made a huge impact on me because I was like, I can't kill Superman. Like, he's invincible and super strong and all sorts of stuff. That's just crazy. So, but I loved too that once he was dead, there was still the other Superman that came out, and there's this, cloud of mystery. Is one of these the real Superman? All this sort of stuff. So it was really great. So we see here, this is like their summit meeting notes about the issues here. I like on the side here it says nothing works. The body is still there. So the note here just punches a hole in this whole concept. They're like, this is a great story, but his body's still at the memorial or whatever, so how are we going to deal with that angle of the story? And then this is when Superman came back. We get the fireworks cover and stuff, although this is technically the issue after the issue when he comes back. But this is the first formal, like, new suit, the mullet hair and all this sort of stuff. Previous issue, I think it was, I can't even remember now. But the one prior where, it shows like the chromium cover and all that, that was the first one. So next we have a maquette, it looks like, of Superboy, probably the one used for that DC Direct figure, which I would love to go get those. This is the poster that I recently acquired. So you can see it all in frame here, yay, but it's right above where I'm sitting right now. We've got like kind of a diagonal wall, and I've just got posters lining the whole thing. And so, yeah, as I've said, this storyline, huge inspiration for me. I loved the mystery behind it. I loved all these characters. I loved everything about it. It was just very inspirational, really solid art, good premise. And then we see here the Lois and Clark, New Adventures of Superman. And apparently there was a comic made about spotting landmines, made by NATO in 1996. That's been distributed all over the place. Millions of copies. But I've never seen this, so I'd like to find that and see what that's about. Then finally, we had the wedding here. 1996 was when Clark and Lois finally got married. And that was a great little story, too. I loved it. It had, like, pretty much every artist they could get who had worked on Superman previously to do some work on it. It was really great. We have the Steel movie starring Shaq that tanked. And we have the Adventures of Superman Adventures comic inspired by the cartoon, which an interesting thing about it, it was drawn by Scott McCloud. Not the first one, I guess, but I know Scott McCloud did some of the other ones. And that's the guy who did all of like the Understanding comics, like all of the books about like studying comics scholastically and things like that. And now here is the title sequence for the Superman cartoon here, which was a real shame. It didn't last as well as the Batman cartoon, but it was a really great cartoon. Solid art, solid voice acting, all that good stuff. Anything in the Bruce Timm universe always did really well. And it looks like they did move it up a bit as far as the time period. We see here everyone's looking pretty traditional, especially Jimmy here with his bow tie and his little suit, and Lois's dress looks older. You could have gotten away with these guys kind of maintaining this look, and they did, but I know like the Jimmy's got like an untucked shirt and modern haircut, and Lois looks a little different, yeah, right here. She still has kind of like an iconic look to her, but definitely not as traditional as that previous image. And then it's talking about Alex Ross's Kingdom Come here, pretty much the future of Superman. We get the black and the S logo here, and the salt and pepper whiting sides on his hair, which eventually he and Wonder Woman have a child together at the very end of the book. And we have the electric Superman here, the blue and the red, which I remember I bought that as well. And at that point, that's really where I kind of checked out of Superman, I think, as far as, you know, having memories of the books. It was really, I remember I bought a little bit of this, and then I just, you know, moved on. So, not to say there were bad stories, they just weren't really gelling with me, I guess. And then we see here in the corner Seinfeld's ad with Superman here for American Express. And then apparently Jerry had requested that Superman be drawn in the Kurt Swan style. And then he had the classic Jimmy Olsen from the 50s show make an appearance there too. So this is talking about a book here, An Evening with Superman by Barry Windsor Smith. I don't know if it ever came out. I'll have to check that out. I love that the book ends on this note here, talking about a Superman's got a movie in the works by Tim Burton. You all may famously know it as the one where Nicolas Cage was cast as Superman. And Kevin Smith was writing the script, and there's plenty of media on that. I might throw an image of Superman Nicolas Cage on the screen here. So that's a good time. And then, as you know, basically the producer of the movie was the same guy who had funded Wild Wild West, and he was pushing for a fight with a giant spider in the Superman movie. It got scrapped and everything, but that same fight, apparently, a lot of the same beats and everything were used for the Wild Wild West movie with Loveless, with the giant mechanical spiders and stuff. So then we have a nice Alex Ross Superman image here, which I did a reading of this full story as well. You can check that out through the playlist too. I think it's actually in one of the top viewed videos playlists. But yeah, so this is the cape here. I don't know of which Superman in particular. Maybe George Reeves, I don't know. And then yeah, so there's actually two other books too. And then this is Les Daniels here. So they had put out, there's some other books they had put out called the Masterpiece editions of Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman. So for the longest time, I thought that these were actually the same as those books. So these are 3 different books than those books. Those books spotlight primarily the early days of those characters. So might get my hands on those, I might not. Yeah, so that's going to do it. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Make sure to leave a comment down below and let me know what you want to see so you can be entered in for the contest. We're going to be doing our live drawing for that on the 24th. It's going to be a 7 o'clock live stream Thursday, the 24th, So it's just going to be standard Q&A, and I will be doing the drawing then. So a couple weeks to do this. Tell everyone you know. Let's keep boosting it, keep growing it as we get more subscribers. Obviously, more giveaways to follow. So thank you all so much for your support. I love doing this for you all. You all have a super slumber. Thanks. Bye.